A friend had to push him into AC/DC. Now, that's rock and roll. That's the real stuff that we're talking about. When you see Angus Young, shouting and playing out loud, you know what life is all about. It is about hearing all the wind running through your head, spreading your heads all along, and you are alive for the first time in your life. That's when it starts the real thing. The rest is just simple history. But no, Patrick Mallow wouldn't be happy just making a single portrait of Angus Young. Of course, we all know the tragic history of the other guy in the AC/DC, but it's against Patrick's choice. So I'm not the one to be blamed. It's him, maybe. So please forgive me on this one. Well, what can we say? Then comes this. I don't like this group myself. I found them rather silly. They are like, good German bastards making their homework. But Patrick somehow was embezzled by the image of James Hetfield. So he had to make a portrait of James Hetfield. But it wasn't a simple portrait to be done. He had to portray him as a god guitar, It is like if he was transforming, the nature and the forces into one single portrait. That's here that we have to follow, all this mythology of German warriors of ancient times. That's what Patrick Mallow is trying to overreach. Not reach, overreach. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful when we are appreciating this gallery of portraits. This is not a history simply told. It is a choices that are difficult to make. So what he does, he jumps. He goes to this rather difficult issue. I wouldn't, again, take into account the Smashing Pumpkins. They are like almost a Walmart group to me, You know what I'm talking about. So he does a portrait of Billy Corgan. Oh my God. Billy Corgan? Come on. To begin with, he's bald. Oh, I hate bald guys, But Patrick Mallow compensates these sort of, miscarriages along the way by doing a fine portrait of Rob Zombie. Now, that's what I call art. I'm speaking about Rob Zombie, of course, playing with White Zombie. If you haven't been to a concert of White Zombie, maybe you've been, playing at the video games or shopping in Walmart, maybe. So you don't know anything about life. You haven't heard White Zombie. So don't waste my time. Don't waste your silly time. Go and shop the records, okay? So don't come to me nagging that you haven't heard White Zombie, because you are missing the experience. Patrick Mallow made a choice, and a good one. He went to this concert of Marilyn Manson, and he went nuts. And it's not difficult to understand why. He fell in love with the guy, or should I say the girl. Come on, Marilyn Manson was a show by himself. So Patrick Mallow heard the call and said, okay, Marilyn Manson deserves to be in my gallery of portraits. Now, who else? Okay, of course, he had to run between middle ways between Metallica and White Zombie. So what's what Patrick Mallow was to discover? Of course, Rammstein. Rammstein was around the corner. It wasn't that a difficult choice. So the guy is just, Patrick Mallow is just letting the accident happen. So he makes the portrait of the singer, I always forget his name, although he's very good on the stage. Forget me for not remembering his name. And then, at last, he has to face difficult choices. So Patrick Mallow has to choose between many groups of heavy metal of today, and he goes and chooses this very silly guy, with these dreadlocks. Come on, who would care about a guy having dreadlocks playing new metal? Come on, who would do a portrait of you know, Jonathan Davis. I wouldn't myself, not even if I were a photographer, a mild, good photographer. I wouldn't even try. But again, it is Patrick Mallow's choice. Forgive me on this one. I'm just an expert about art. I'm not an expert on heavy metal. Sorry for this one. And you must take into account that you are very, very lucky to receive in this wonderful country of yours this exhibit. We are sending you art so you will be transformed into new kids, into new guys. You know, Patrick Mallow's portraits is a whole new experience for you there, over there in Mexico. You wouldn't even dream, not even in your wet dreams, dream about these portraits. So be thankful that the curator of the Saatchi collection accepted the invitation to bring these paintings to Mexico. So don't judge me badly if I don't speak about Patrick Mallow, because he's a lark, drug addict, alcoholic boy, a good for nothing. What he has achieved so far is just a group of portraits. Not so good to me, but they are important to you, because you wouldn't get near to the experience of going to a very heavy metal concert without these images. So, thank to hell that you are receiving these portraits over there in Mexico. Thank you, guys.